Doug was on a roll. After the success of the Great Gristle Gala, which had left half the town bewildered and the other half genuinely entertained, he felt inspired. Sitting in the cluttered basement of the Gristle Grotto, he laid out his next big plan to Lorne and Nerlin, who eyed him with a mix of intrigue and apprehension. "Boys," Doug announced, slamming his fist on the table for emphasis, "it's time we take this show on the road. I'm talking wheels. I'm talking food. I'm talking the Gristle Wagon." Lorne's eyebrows shot up. "A food truck? Doug, do we even know how to run a food truck?" Doug waved a dismissive hand. "Do we know how to run a restaurant? No, but look how great the Gristle Grotto is doing. People need our food, Lorne. They crave it. They just don't know it yet." Nerlin adjusted his glasses, his gaze shifting from Doug to the list of specialties scrawled on a napkin. "And what exactly are we going to serve in this truck? Surely not the fart soufflé. Imagine what it would smell like in a confined space." Doug grinned, clearly undeterred by Nerlin's concerns. "Oh, we're serving everything from the grotto menu, all right, but the pièce de résistance, the showstopper, is going to be my newest creation." He leaned in, eyes gleaming with excitement. The deep-fried 2-pound turd in a 1-pound bag. Lorne choked on his drink. "Doug, what? You can't just... How does that even work?" Doug's grin widened. "It's all about technique. You take a massive 2-pound slab of gristle, beef scraps, and a few secret ingredients. Shape it into a big old turd-like bundle, then deep-fry it until it's golden brown and crispy on the outside but chewy on the inside. Then, here's the kicker. You stuff that thing into a bag that's only big enough for 1 pound. It'll look ridiculous, but that's the point. It's a culinary contradiction. People will love it." Nerlin groaned. "Doug, this sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. The grease, the mess, people are going to take one look and either run or laugh us out of town." Doug shrugged. "Let 'em laugh. At least they'll remember us. Besides, we'll have a whole menu of stuff to win them over. Wonton turds, gristle jerky, the fart soufflé in convenient cups, and capers royale for that touch of class." The vision of the Gristle Wagon began to take shape. Doug imagined the truck painted in garish red and gold, with a giant cartoon gristle meatball on top, complete with bulging, googly eyes. The tagline in Doug's mind would be unforgettable: "Where real food gets realer." A few weeks later, after pooling what little savings they had and reworking an old van that had once delivered mattresses, the Gristle Wagon hit the road. Doug parked it right in the center of town, under the brightest streetlight, with the speakers blaring yacht rock from Lanth Dedberger's vinyl collection. Doug himself stood outside, apron on, waving down potential customers with an enthusiasm that was almost terrifying. The first brave soul was a young guy, probably on a dare. What's this 2-pound turd in a 1-pound bag thing?" Doug's face lit up. "A man with taste. That's the pièce de résistance. Imagine a glorious 2-pound deep-fried creation, all stuffed into a bag that barely fits. It's a challenge, a dare, and trust me, it's unforgettable." The guy stared at the bag, clearly unsure, but Doug was relentless. He handed it over with a proud grin, watching as the guy tried to get a handle on the oversized, greasy mass that defied all laws of physics and portion control. Soon a small crowd gathered, half of them horrified, the other half genuinely curious. Blogartha Hogartha even showed up, sporting a feathered bow and holding her nose dramatically. "Doug, darling, this smells like trouble and looks like, well, you know." She laughed, waving a sequined hand. Doug took a deep breath, hands on his hips, surveying the crowd. "Trouble? Blogartha, this is genius. This is food for the brave, for the bold, for those who laugh in the face of culinary convention." People either took bites of Doug's bizarre creations or laughed so hard they had to sit down, snapping photos and videos as they tried to navigate the absurd menu. The Gristle Wagon was a hit in a way only Doug McGillicuddy could have predicted. Part shock, part amusement, and just maybe a sliver of culinary curiosity. As the night wore on, Doug leaned back against the truck, beaming with pride. He'd done it. He'd turned his strange little vision into a reality on wheels, and for once the people seemed to understand his idea of fine dining.